Myself in. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talking with Ty. This is episode 2 of 2023, and I have a special guest that is going to be on with me tonight. I know y'all looking at my background and it's looking all crazy, but today has been one of those days, okay? Today has been one of those days. If you are in Arkansas, then you know that it is raining like crazy and snow and everything in the forecast. So today has been one of those days. So you guys just bear with us. But I have a special guest that is going to be on with me tonight. And if we run out of time, don't worry because she and I will be in the Bahamas this week. So we will definitely do a follow up. So today, guys, I have the pleasure of having my friend, my colleague, my sister in diversity and inclusion, Ishea Sheppard, is going to be on with us. So Ishea is a Temple University graduate that is majoring in communications. You guys will know that because she is a wordsmith. The girl got the words, okay? Every time we're having a conversation, she has the words. She has been working in the multifamily industry. She is a champion for diversity, equity, and inclusion. There's so many things that I could say about this woman. I met Ishea, I think it was last year at Apartmentalize, guys, and just instantly connected. This is a young woman who is going places in this industry. And the things that she is passionate about is being authentic, showing up as your whole self. And I think that's one of the things that we connected on because as you guys know, like you see me with my braids and stuff tonight, I am always going to show up 100% as me. And I think sometimes in corporate America, because we're used to code switching, people have told us for so long that, okay, turn it off and turn it back on when you get in there. So to run into somebody that is true to their self and just stays them at all times. I think we're in a culture now and we're in an environment where authenticity is what's most important. And that's what people are looking for you to be your organic and authentic self. So without further ado, we are going to bring Ishea onto the screen with us this evening. Hello, Ishea. We cannot hear you. Are you muted?
I don't think so. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
I can't. Can y'all hear Ishea? Because I can't hear her. I have my screen turned up. Your mic is on.
Hold on.
Edit mics. It sounded like you said something and I could hear you.
Wait, could you hear me?
I can.
Oh, wait.
You need to go up a little bit more though.
Okay, hold on. My husband got me this iPad.
Dana said that she can hear you. Thank you, Dana.
Okay, my husband got me this iPad Pro, you guys. And if you know me, you know that I am not tech
There you
savvy.
go.
All right.
Boom. Yes. Okay. Crystal told us that she can hear you also.
Okay. I
So,
got it for Christmas,
Ishea,
guys.
thank you so much for joining me this evening on Talking with Ty. Thank you for clearing your schedule. I know that you are a mom and a professional and so many things that you're going to share with us this evening. But to take your time out, it does not go lightly with me because I am a serial entrepreneur too. And I
Yes, you.
know that when we carve our time out for each other, it means a lot. So thank you for coming to Tidy and Tie. I mean, girl, Tidy and Tie. That's my other business, y'all. See, that's all the stuff that
You
I
have
got
so
on
many
me.
businesses.
Yes, and that's why y'all see my dressmaker back here because we made designer's choice this year and we're getting ready for the fashion show. So, Ishea, without further ado, let the people know who you are. I told them some things about you, but tell us, who are you?
Well, as you said, my name's Ishea Sheppard. I am a wife. I'm a mother of a 15-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy. I am a assistant vice president at AMC Delancey Group. So I'm very excited to be an executive in the multifamily industry. I'm passionate about DE&I and B, which is belonging. And I think my passion for that really comes from just always showing up as your authentic self. And that's something that I don't think I even realized that I was doing. Like I've just always been myself. I am a youngest in my family. So I have an older sister, and I don't know if anyone can relate, but when you're the youngest, my older sister's kind of a perfectionist. So the bar was always really high for her. And for me, it was just kind of like, oh, she's doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in a way that gave me a sense of freedom because not too much was expected of me. So I just kind of marched to the beat of my own drum. And then as I got older and I got into the work world and the corporate world, and I realized like that there were people who weren't doing that and who weren't showing up as themselves, it made me sad, it made me frustrated, and I just wanted to be someone who consistently showed up like themselves to make space for other people to do the same.
That is amazing. And I think that's, like I said, that's one of the things that connected me with you, because we've had a lot of talks before this phone call. And when I came into the multifamily industry, I think I have always shown up as myself, but it did maybe stop me from being promoted at times. Stop me from getting a job at this property or that property because I did wear the braids, or I did wear the mohawk, or I do talk loud and I do wear vibrant colors and clothes. So would you say, have you ever felt like showing up as Ishea has stopped you from getting an opportunity or has helped you get the opportunity?
So I think as I'm getting older. So as I'm getting older and I'm starting to make friends and colleagues in the industry like yourself and Marcy French and those type of people, I kind of recognize that there are rooms that I didn't get into because I came as me. And, I have a squeaky voice and I'm loud and I am like when my team leases something that, has been sitting for a while, or if we collect money that we didn't think we were going to collect, I'm like, ring the bell. Like, it's like, and that's all the time. I don't care who's in the office because I'm enthusiastic. So I think that there have been opportunities that I didn't get. And at the time I was like, man, should I have, code switch? Should I have been a little bit more demure, less myself? But now I realize that those spaces weren't for me and that there was someone who honestly was a better fit and that space was for them. So I'm trying to live in an abundance mindset. So there's always enough for me, there's always enough for you. We can all be that girl, and if it's for me, it's going to be there, and if it's not for me, then I'm just happy for whoever the opportunity was actually for.
Yes, you know what? And that's a great way to look at it. Instead of feeling like, well, I didn't get into those rooms, to feel like, you know what? I didn't get into that room, but that room wasn't for me. And whoever did get into that room, maybe it opened up an opportunity for that person. But I got into the rooms that I belong in. So with going to Temple for Communications, what brought you into the multifamily industry? How did we get here?
So, like everyone who's in the apartment industry that I know, it just kind of it was happenstance. So, I went to Temple for Communications. I was very excited. I thought I was going to be the next Oprah. You couldn't tell me anything. I was like, "You get a car. We was doing it, Ty." And then after I graduated, I started working at a construction company. It was like a small family-owned construction company, and they also had buildings, like apartment buildings. And I did that for a while, and I realized just one, how much I love like construction and building and seeing things come into fruition. And then also that kind of in contrast to like my experience in broadcasting, I felt like I could be myself more in the construction space, and I was never really faulted, I think, for being assertive or passionate, because construction for the most part is like, it's male dominated. So,
Yeah.
Men were cursing and spitting and just like, and you're gonna get this done. And I was like, wait, I could talk to people like that? So for me, it was just, I was like, oh, these are my folks, this is where I should be. And I never looked back. So I went from that company to another construction company. And then 8 years ago, I ended up at my current company, which is AMC Delancey Group in Philadelphia. And I'm just excited to be at a company like this. They really embrace inclusivity. And I think even before it was a thing that was intentional for a lot of organizations, they were very mindful of allowing me and everyone else to show up as themselves. So I'm really appreciative of that.
So would you say that's why you've probably been with them as long as you have?
Definitely. I tell people, especially in the apartment industry, it's very easy. And you know this because you've had a very specific type of career trajectory. It's very easy to say, I need to get it to this company because they have this units and I want to be a regional or I want to be an executive and I want this. And I think for me, it was more about finding a company where I could grow and learn and also be myself. And we have less than 1,000 units. So in our industry, that's not like huge, but
Mhm.
I've also been able to meet people like you at Apartmentalize, be in the diversity leadership program, and be on national stages because I'm at a company where they can recognize me as an individual. So
Mhm.
that's why I've been there so long. It really does help with employee retention, I think, to be able to recognize your team and what they're good at and what they love and support them.
And employee retention is because that's where my mind was going to when you were talking, is retaining your employees. So with our regionals and corporate people that's listening to us right now, people that do the hiring, people that's in the C-suite positions, what would you say to them if they're having a hard time retaining employees, or they just want to know, like, Ishea, this group is up here, and then we have our entry level employees, and sometimes that connection does not come across. So, what advice would you give people out there? Because when you told me that you had been at your company for 8 years, that's, I mean,
That's a
raise
long
your
time.
hand. In multifamily, that's like 30
It's a
years
long
in one
run.
company.
People, yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. So, what would you tell people? Like, you don't want to continue to rehire people because, one, that's not helping them meet the bottom line. When you're constantly hiring new people, retraining new people, how do we stop that and we retain the employees that we already have, and then we build them up to be the RVP, the president, the CEO? What would be your advice on that?
So my advice, honestly, is if you're having an issue with employee retention, which I can say like we don't have at my company, but I do know what it's like, is to really look at the root of the problem. So when you're hiring people, be honest with the roles, be honest with the expectations, because I know so many people who like start a job and go, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So like, be honest about what the role is. Be honest about our industry. I see ads sometimes where it's like assistant property manager, no weekends. Lies. Don't like, just tell people the truth about what the role is, and then also provide them opportunities outside of just traditional like financial incentives. So for me, it was being able to go to national things and knowing that my company was going to support that. I have other colleagues where they aren't necessarily involved in associations, but they get any training they want as long as their training can make sense for their role within our company and for their growth. So for some of them, it's social media marketing. Some of our leasing agents have asked for sales training that isn't necessarily directly apartment related, but they figured out how to like make it correlate, and our company takes care of that. So I really think in this day and age where people can work remotely, and that's like the glamorous thing, you're asking people to be on site, you're asking people to work weekends and work long hours. You need to make it worth their while, and it's not always going to be money. So it's going to be other ways that you incentivize them, like I said, education, just support, being able to be involved in associations, and then I think truly having a space where they can come in and have fun. So like, I know anyone who's listening who's property manager or regional, I say this a lot. We get punched in the face a lot. Like, you get angry calls and you have these, and it's like property management is boom, 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 and then at the end of the day, you get a kiss on the forehead, like, come back tomorrow. And that's what it is. But for me, I come back every day because I love my team. Like, I joke that me and my service supervisor in a suicide pact. I'm like, we doing this till the wheels fall off. And I love my team. I love the energy they bring. And I think that even when someone does leave for an opportunity that makes better sense for them, I can say I let them leave with love. I'm like, you want a recommendation? And sometimes we have people who come back
Mhm.
because they realize like, hey, maybe this was more money or this was different, but I miss the community. So I think the multifamily industry has community down to a science. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can make sure all of your employees feel that connection and that community, they will stay with you. They will grow with you. And even if they leave, they will come back because they know that feeling. It's like you spend a lot of time at work, so you should want to be there.
That culture that's created at work.
Yeah.
And you can tell that you're in a great culture because from your TikToks, from your videos that I see on Facebook and Instagram. But I love it because we do live in a world of social media now. And I always tell properties when they like, well, our traffic is low tide or we rebranded with a different name. I'm like, okay, do lives, go do TikTok stuff, do reels on social media. No, that's not where you're going to get all of your traffic from, but people are watching. And I
Yeah.
know people are watching Facebook because when we travel to the national trips, all I hear all day is, I saw on Facebook, you're doing this on
Yeah.
Facebook. I'm like, okay, Facebook is the gospel.
And you know what else I would say about that? You don't have to want to be that person to understand that it's important for someone else. So the president of my company is a very reserved person. Like, we're jumping around, we're shooting TikTok. He will just walk past us side. He pays us little to no mind. But he's never once said, hey, Ishea, you stop being you. So I think that's another thing that people need to embrace. Like, I don't have to understand why it's important for you to support it and accept it. And if more people in leadership positions would get that, like, you might not understand TikTok, but if your staff understands TikTok and it's important for them, allow them to do it because it also shows the culture of your company, and residents care about that. They want to know who they're giving money to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so often people forget that.
Well, and I think it falls in diversity and inclusion with inclusivity. Like you said, it might not be your thing. You might be from a different generation. You might be from a different culture, but understand that everybody that makes up your company is different and different people can be reached in different areas. So I love that about your company. Hey, kudos to the president of the company because I love it. And I know that you're happy in your position because every time we talk, the smile that you have on your face today in person, that's the smile always. And I've been in this industry for such a long time. And I know that when you do get that support from upper management and people allow you to be 100% of who you are, it makes a difference. I would say I did not find that until I went to Apartment Finder and went to the supplier side. And I had been on site then for years. But when I went to Finder, no longer did my hair matter. No longer did my braids, my twist out, the loud colors that I wear. None of that mattered. And I was able to sell. I made Rookie of the Year my first year in Memphis. And it was because they allowed me to be me. So I'm going to put that out there on top of what Ishea said to anybody that's listening, that's in a hiring position or in upper management at your company. When you allow people, see, I got this pen, I'm serious, I'm pointing. When you allow your employees to be 100% of who they are, authentic, allow them to show up every single day as who they are and not have to code switch and walk on eggshells, you will be amazed at the productivity that will come from them.
I have a thing that I say about that, where I don't know if anyone on here is like a Marvel or X-Men person, but there's a character, Mystique. She's blue. And she spends a lot of like the first few movies like changing to not be blue. And then she gets into a fight and the guy like wins and he's like, I won because you were trying so hard to like look like somebody else. But if you fight me when you are yourself, you're at 100%. And I feel like that's the same in the work world. If I'm even giving 10% of my energy to code switching, or is it okay for my hair to be like this today? Or did I say a colloquialism on the phone or whatever you want to call it? That's 10% of my energy that you're not getting. And the moment that I was like in a place where I could be myself and I was like, hey, like Delancey, we have historical brownstones. So we don't have elevators. So I'm 10,000 steps a day. The day that someone said, Ashea, you can wear sneakers, I was walking 15,000 steps a day. And I was happy to do it. The day that they said, if you want to wear jeans because it makes sense, because of like, and I think people really should understand that, is that any energy that is put towards anything besides your job or the role you're in is a loss to your company. So you should want people to not be thinking about that. You should want them to not be like, oh, what should I be wearing? Or did I put a smiley face at the end of that email? Will they think that that email was too assertive? Like, I don't worry about that. And I think that
wait a minute, we're gonna let them get a pen and a piece of paper. 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, y'all got y'all pen and paper? Because I want to run that back. I want to run that back right quick. When you allow them to not put the energy, say that again, because that gave me chills.
Any energy that I'm putting into code switching, or any energy that I'm putting into anything besides my role and my job, is energy that is a loss to my company. So if I'm coming in and I'm 100% me, you're getting 100% productivity. You're getting the best Ishea at all times, because I don't have any other concerns. And I don't think that people, especially people who have not been in the situation where they have to code switch, realize that. But if you have ever had to code switch, you understand the energy. You understand the mask that you're wearing, and it's heavy. And the moment that you allow people to take it off, you're going to be like, wait, were you always this good? Were you always this thoughtful? Did you always have these great ideas? Were you, nervous about saying them? And I think that, especially as a woman, I've always struggled with like people thinking, oh, she aggressive, or I've never wanted to be seen as like bossy or anything like that. And the moment that I was like, that's not for me, that's for you. If you think I'm bossy, then I can't help you. Like, don't follow. If you follow, then I'm not a boss. I'm a leader, and we're good. So it doesn't matter. So I think anyone who's out there, let people show up as themselves. Try it for a week with no penalty. Say, wear your hair how you want to wear your hair. Do what you want to do. People will surprise you at how they come in, how they show up. I think you just have to trust your staff and trust that they want to do a good job and they want to do their best. You have to give them space to do that.
I love it. The fact that we're still talking about hair puzzles me. Today when I was looking at NBC, I think it was, and the Black news lady had braids. I felt so amazed that I'm seeing news people with braids. The last time when I went to advocate and I was walking through the airport, I seen so many Black women and everybody had their hair braided, but it took the Crown Act for this to happen for us, for it to be accepted, for it to be okay. And I think we've talked about this before, having braids and then a national trip or a work trip coming up, and you may only had your braids for a month. Okay, guys, these last like 2.5 months, okay? 2.5 months.
6 to 12 weeks, depending on maintenance.
And a work trip is coming up, and then we feel like, oh my God, I need to take these out.
Mm-hmm.
I need to redo my hair. I need to play my look down some. I don't want to walk into the room and I don't want to seem ghetto. I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to be too aggressive. And your mind is on all of them things that I don't want to be, that you can't show who you are. And I'm like you. The moment that I said, you know what? I'm me. And take it or leave it. If you take it, I'm going to be the best thing that ever happened to your company, because I'm going to cash flow it and just represent the brand well. But I'm not going to change who I am or conform to what you want me to be to get the job done. And I feel like that's one of the things that really draws me into you, because you're going to have the Chucks on. You're going to have, but I always remember you by what you have on. That's how I first noticed you. I was like, okay, graphic tee, skirt, Chucks, blazer. I'm with it. And I bet your feet wasn't hurting that apartment a lot.
We had 20,000 steps one day, time messing with you and Monica. I looked at my feet. I said, is this accurate? This feels... It was... So, no, my feet did not hurt. I was very excited to not have those problems.
And to be you. So Let's dig a little bit deeper. 8 years into the industry, I'm just now starting to see you, I think a year ago, on the national scene. So what brought that across? What made you say, you know what? I'm taking this from Philadelphia and I'm taking this show on the road. I'm going national.
So I know you had Dana on the week before last. So it was a diversity leadership program. I got an email. So my company was always involved with our local association. So I had like spoken at a trade show about property management and maintenance and those type of things. And we didn't really do too much on a national scale. And I got an email about the diversity leadership program. And it rolled out in 2020. I did not get accepted in 2020. I was like sad. I was like, oh my God, I didn't get in. So I immediately wrote an email when they said I didn't get in, like, can you please let me know why I did not get in? What are the requirements? Like, because this is for me. And I think it was either Sarah Keene or Stephanie got back to me and said, hey, Ashia, we can only take 15 people, but you were, high up. I suggest you do more with your local affiliate and then apply again. So the next year I joined my local affiliate's DE&I committee and just a few other committees. And I just really tried to like kind of beef up my participation and my volunteering. And I applied again. And then I got in for 2021, which in line with everything, it happens for a reason. I was in the same class as Monica Frazier, Crystal Duke, Dana Duckworth. And I was so happy to be with them because we are genuinely friends. We have group text. We talk about things that are not apartment related. We talk about, our lives, being moms, working, just like random memes. They are constantly busting on me because I don't have an iPhone. And that program was life-changing. Like, I know that's something that people say kind of casually, but I was partnered with Ariana Royster. She's with Borger Management in DC. She is an executive at her company, which I love, but I don't know if a lot of people know this about her. She still directly manages, I think, like 200 units. And that's what I do. So to see someone who had made it to the role of an executive, is in a C-suite, and it's like, hey, I still like to manage units because I think it makes me a better leader. It was someone I could model myself after and aspire to be like. And that was basically it. Put the battery in my back. I did the program and I was like, what's next? I'm gonna try to be on every committee that they let me on. I'm gonna apply for Leadership Lyceum, and that's it. Like, I literally sign up for everything that I think makes sense for me, and I wait for someone to tell me no.
So is this where you met Dana them?
Yes.
The DLP program?
We did not know each other before that. And I think that that's what's so crazy is like, we have all grown to be such good friends in about 2 years.
And this is where you met Monica?
So Monica and I were both in Pennsylvania, but the Pennsylvania Association, right before we met in DLP, there was like Eastern, Central, and Western. So Monica's in Pittsburgh. We're 6 hours apart. So we didn't know each other. And then we were in the DE&I committee at the PAA. And then like the next week, the DLP started. And we were in that call together. And I was like, hey, are you the same Monica? And she was like, yeah. And then I was like, wow, like, let's be friends. And
but you know what, that's what I love, and I think anybody that's on here listening that's in the multifamily industry can attest to. You become family in this industry. You all met 2 years ago. I met y'all a year ago, and so the same text message thread that she's talking about, I have the privilege of being on there also, and I am an Android girl, so some people on here are saying team iPhone and stuff. So
they talk bad about my memes and stuff. I'm like, you can see it. Don't try to play. You got it.
So let's say this. So 2 years ago, diversity leadership program. It's been a crazy 2 years for you because Leadership Lyceum, AFT program, co-chair for RPM Careers. So let's dig into that a little bit. How did you, and why I want to go here is because I think a lot of people get into the industry, they come to a conference or two, and they don't get anything out of it. And I always say you get out of it what you put into it. You have to volunteer. You have to get involved. So segueing from the diversity leadership program, how did we get to where we are today with all the things that you're doing? And tell us all the things that you're doing and what you have going on.
So I guess the one thing I would say, and this is my personal, like what I'm good with doing, and I think everyone has to do what's good with them. I have no problem being the most inquisitive person in the room. So like when we were doing DLP, I felt like that was an opportunity to ask as many questions as they would allow. So like I made sure to ask my mentors as many questions as possible. I was like, so what do you recommend I do after this? What's next? What's next? And then Marcy, who was actually Monica's mentor, like once I kind of met her and felt like, oh, I'm comfortable asking her questions, I was like in her LinkedIn DMs, like, hey, Marcy, what would you? So I really, and even when I met you, I don't know if you remember, but I walked up to you and I said, this is a look, and I'm doing fits of apartmentalize. Let me take your picture. Ty, nobody told me to do that. Nobody said, hey, Ishea, start a hashtag. I was just like, I see so many people. They look so good. And I knew for me coming to apartmentalize, I didn't know what to wear. So I was like, if I start this hashtag fits of apartmentalize, even if it only helps me and two friends, so we know what you should wear at apartmentalize, it's for us, whatever. So I think ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to walk up to people and just start talking to them. At Assembly of Delegates, I was able to talk to Mike Holmes, a past chair of the NAA or past president. Like, I'm just comfortable. People are people. And if you're in this industry, I would assume that you're a people person. So remember that and stay true to that and be comfortable just talking to anyone and just doing that. So as far as the things I'm doing, because this is a lot, I just graduated from AFT. So I'm an advanced facilitator, NAAEI faculty. Catch me if you need a CAM or a CALP training. CAMT also. I also was in the inaugural class of, this is a long one, first mental health first aid trainers for the National Apartment Association. So there's 14 of us, and we're all certified to train on mental health first aid, which I think in our industry is so important right now. There's so many people who are struggling, and it's just been a rough couple years. So having that skill set and being able to teach others just like what you're looking for, to check in on your friends and check in on your residents, is so important. And then I am on the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee for the Pennsylvania Apartment Association and the National Apartment Association. And then I am vice chair of RPM Careers for the National Apartment Association. And I am on the NAA Curriculum Committee, because I literally sign up for everything until someone tells me you're doing too much. And then I stop. So like that's...
Did we leave out Leadership Lyceum?
Oh, and I was accepted into Leadership Lyceum this year, which I am so excited to do. And I'm doing it with my girls again, Dana, Monica, Crystal. I don't know if the people knew what they were doing. They put us together again. But I was like, this is starting to feel like the Bulls. Like, we're going to run it back, y'all. I was so excited. I've been calling it our Jordan year, 2023. So it's a whole thing.
I mean, it is amazing. And I remember you going through the mental health class because Kendra Butterfield, which is the president of AAA,
I love Kendra.
Yes, we love Kendra here in Arkansas. Kendra went through this class also. And for NAA to realize that mental health and multifamily go hand in hand, because we're all a little mental, was great, because people do need it. And I think maybe, once COVID happened and they really realized. So that's one of the things that I love about our industry, is that when the need is there and we realize it, even with the diversity leadership program. Now, it took a while. I'm going to throw that out there because this is my show and I can say that. It took a while, but to recognize, so the respect goes out. NAA, I love the multifamily industry and being a whole part of it. But thank you for recognizing that this was something that we needed and for putting it in place for us. So I am amazed at that. So to go a little bit deeper with Ishea, we talked about all the things you do, how long you've been on your job. But when you started out this call and I asked you who was Ishea, you said a mother and you said a wife. And so I want to go here because this is one of the things that I'm struggling with, because I'm a mother and a wife also. And like you, when somebody asks me what I'm doing, I name 100 things.
Yeah.
How are you? So moms, listen, Dads, listen. How do you juggle home? You got a 15-year-old daughter,
Yes.
an 8-year-old son. How do you juggle all of that?
So I would like to say he's watching from somewhere in our house. Please try not to use our internet. My husband is super supportive. We met in the 10th grade. And so we really had an opportunity to like grow up together, if that makes sense. And I think that he's always known me to just be the type of person to sign up for too much stuff. Like I literally signed up to be classroom mom for my son's class, and he was like, "You have like 6 trips this year. How are you like? How are you gonna be classroom mom?" And so he's showing up and giving out cookies for me, and my mom is showing up. So I think having a partner and having people around you who understand kind of like who you are, and that if you're going to do a lot, that's just what it's going to be. So them supporting you. I will also say give yourself grace. I give my, like, yesterday was a Monday. Mondays, I don't know about all the other parents or just guardians on the call, but Mondays in my house are always crazy because the kids got back to school, but they don't really feel like they're back to school. And then I had a long Monday because it's Monday in property management. And so, like, some Mondays we eat pizza. You know, some Mondays maybe we cook dinner and it's delicious, but some Mondays we eat pizza. And some Mondays, you know, the laundry doesn't get done, and that's what it is. But I would rather not do the laundry and get to read a story with my 8-year-old, or not, you know, or eat pizza and not cook and get to listen to my 15-year-old tell me about her day, than kind of push this like idea of like I have to get ABCD done for me to feel like I'm a good mom or a good wife. So I really prioritize quality time with my husband and my kids. And also, and this is something that I recently started doing, allow people in your life to know that you're a person. For moms, and especially Black women, I think we are very used to being superheroes. So when you do need space or you need self-care or time, sometimes your kids or your spouse is like, wait, what? You need to take care of yourself? Since when? And it's not anything selfish. They're just not used to you needing that. So like for me, there's 30 minutes a day where I work out. And when I first started doing it, my son would be like, why can't you talk to me while you work out? And I realized he had never been in a space where I wasn't available for him. So I was like, this is my time. And now he has the emotional capacity to understand that. So I think it's better for me because he knows if mommy's on elliptical, I'm not going to talk to her. He does whatever he's going to do. He colors, he leaves me alone. But also, I'm hoping that it makes him a better partner for the next person because he understands no matter how strong someone is or how much they can do, they still need to take care of themselves.
I love that because self-care, I think, is one of the things that we forget about. We're so busy working and trying to leave a legacy and be a mom and be a wife and be a friend to people that we don't think about self-care until it's that morning where you just can't get out the bed. We let it weigh on us to the point to where it's like, oh my God, I got to do something. So to hear that you do give yourself that 30 minutes of workout, it is really refreshing to hear. And hopefully some of the other ladies that's listening and fathers that's out there listening, because this industry will suck you in. And there's so much to do. And we're all, like I said, trying to leave a legacy and get to the finish line, that when you have a family and you need to prioritize them in too, to be able to balance it all. So that's amazing that you're able to balance it all. So what does Ishea do for fun? What does fun look like? When we done working, we done working out, we done TikToking, we done with the kids.
We've done so fun. I go to a lot of sporting events. My husband, if anyone on this call knows him, he's like, I always call him like real regular degular guy. He's like, I love baseball, I love football. So like we get season tickets to the Sixers, to the Phillies. I'm in Philadelphia, but we are a Steelers household. So once a year we try to go to a Steelers game. That's a big deal. And I really like sports too. I think outside of that, we try to travel. I like going to get my hair done. I feel like people don't talk about that enough, But that 8 to 9 hours, depending on the style, where no one is talking to me and I might just be chilling out, talking to my hairdresser. Maybe they got tea or wine, depending on the time of day. Mm-hmm. That is really like literally on my calendar at work. Like I don't put PTO, I put Ishea hair day. They know what it is. And it's just like when other people put golf, I'm like, I respect your golf, you respect my braids, we're gonna live like this. So I think, yeah, just really spending time with my family, but getting my hair done is really fun for me. Traveling, going to events, concerts, that type of stuff.
So what's next for you? As you do all of these things and you volunteer your time, there has to be an ultimate goal for you. Do you see it, or are you just working up that ladder until you do see where you want to go? Because I don't want you to think that you have to see it now. So do you see it, or?
So if I'm being honest, I think that I would definitely at some point like to be in a leadership role within the NAA. So I don't know if that means,
chairman of the board,
chairperson of the board, or maybe like president of NAAEI or something like that. But that's definitely something that I would like to do, because I want someone else to see me in that role and go, hey, like I could do that too. So I think that's something I would like. As far as my career with my company, I'm really excited about the growth that we have. We're always looking to buy new things and just like grow and acquire. So I'm hoping to be able to grow with the organization I'm at, because I love it. And then outside of those things, I'm starting to teach education sessions and facilitate. And those are primarily based on like education about authenticity, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and just how to create culture and workplaces where people can be themselves and show up as themselves.
Okay, for some reason I froze up, guys, and I don't know why we did that.
Yeah, you did freeze.
I did freeze, and I'm just sitting here looking all crazy. I know, right? That is not you guys.
No, it's not super crazy, but you did freeze a little bit.
I'm still frozen on my screen.
Yeah, but I can hear you.
Well, y'all know that's not what I look like, so we're gonna let that picture sit right there and keep going. That's what happens sometimes when you're on live. Ty is pink. So on here, I see Ishea for president. So I'm gonna throw that out there right now. Exactly. See, this is why I'm so great though, because I froze up and I kept going. This is what you have to do in this industry, guys. Yes. We have to work through it, because if you've ever been a property manager, you come in sometimes and say, I'm gonna do A, B, and C. And then you get to the front door and you have to do Z, F, G, and H.
Yes. If you problem solve, you multitask, then I always tell people you could do well in this industry, because I consider myself a professional firefighter. I spent all my days putting out fires, solving problems. So I know you were going to be okay, even with the purple screen.
Yeah, even with the purple screen. And then it caught me where my mouth was looking like that. It didn't just catch me in the purple screen. It got my mouth and my eyes closed and stuff. So I don't know what that's all about. So before we get ready to end our call tonight, because I will see you in the Bahamas and we definitely will be able to come back on, I know that you are taking a journey where you decided to be coached by the fabulous Melissa D. White. Guys, if you are out there and you have gotten your business to the point where you can get it on your own, and you have plateaued and you know that this is not it for you, but you just cannot get the rest of the way on yourself, Melissa D. White, I'm being coached by her, and so is Ishea, and I'm going to let Ishea touch on it also. She is amazing. I mean, just set up a virtual coffee with her and check her out for yourself. I can say she's amazing all day long, but definitely tap in with her and see if it's something, because the things I know for me, the things that she tells me and coaches me on instantaneously, I'm able to apply to my business and I see it work. And for me, that's what coaching is all about. So, what made you decide that it's time for you to get a coach to take your business to the next level?
Well, to be honest, my business didn't exist. So I would say, even to people, if you don't have the formalized business plan, you can make the investment in yourself now. I just knew that I wanted to be able to speak and book engagements and kind of be in a place to where I could be growing and thriving. So, based on, all of the wonderful things people have to say about Melissa, I reached out to her for a call, and after the call, I was like, okay, so I don't really have a business yet, but I'm going to make this investment in myself to start off on what I would consider the right foot by being coached by her. And even now, in the few weeks that I've been working with her, I've been able to see like a real change, and kind of, she provides with a lot of actionable items. So it's definitely the difference between like coaching and consulting. She's a coach. She pushes you. She wants you to be your best. She wants you to show up. And I really appreciate that. So it has been great so far. And I'm excited for what else she will show me and coach me on.
You said something so key, and I'm not going to even dig into it. We're going to talk about it in the Bahamas when you said investing in yourself.
Yes.
That's a deeper conversation because investing in yourself can be very scary. It's easier to invest in tangible things. It's easy to invest in real estate. It's easy to invest in that food truck business. But when you invest in yourself, and the return has to come from what you do, that's scary because it's all on you. You can't blame it on, well, the customers didn't come to the food truck or this business didn't work, because this is all about what you do. So that's amazing. I am super excited that you took that step, and I cannot wait to see. I could be making any faces I want to since my face all glued up like that.
Yeah.
But that is amazing. So AFT, let's go ahead and put your plug out there. What are you looking for? Who can hire you? Where can they find you?
So I am now NAA faculty. You can look for me on LinkedIn, or you can slide into my DMs on Facebook. Ishea Sheppard at AMC Delancey Group, and I am open to facilitate for the CALP, for CAM and CAMT. And just like reach out to me. I would love to train people, and I definitely try to incorporate, along with like the standard CAM and all those things, anything that you need for your specific group. So like if your company is struggling with something, I can try to scoot that into the lesson. So just reach out to me. And we didn't get a chance to talk about melanin and multifamily, but I have to shout out Monica Frazier and the Melanin and Multifamily Collective, because they run deep and strong, and I'm excited for us both to be a part of that group.
If you can see my face when she said they run deep, I'm over here like boom, boom. Yes,
like finger guns, they run deep. Yeah.
And y'all will see us at all of the events for 2023. So with the Melanin and Multifamily Group, yes, like Ishea said, guys, this is our collective. It is the founder of it is Monica Frazier. You have so many amazing people: Monique Edwards, Marcy French, Crystal, Cara House. There's so many of us, guys. Brianna, there's like so many people. So be on the lookout, because we will be strutting through the events with our Melanin and Multifamily, and we are looking for allies. So I know that's something that our group will put out there more. So if you're out there and you definitely want to support the Melanin and Multifamily group, please reach out to Monica Frazier, Ishea Sheppard, or myself, or any of the other ladies, and see how you can partner with us, because we are looking for partners for 2023. So Ishea, before we leave the group today, like I said, we will talk about investing in yourself. We will touch more on that in the Bahamas. And I will be reaching out to you because the state of Arkansas, we are looking for bids on a facilitator for our CAP.
I will be there.
So I will definitely reach out to you for that. Guys, I am NAAEI faculty also. So if you are looking for someone to teach a class, I have created a lot of classes. I'm really pushing unconscious biases in 2023, exceeding the current resident expectation, and a few other classes that I have created. So we are out here. Kendra says AAA wants you. So I will be in touch with you tomorrow on getting that proposal in for us to teach the CALP class.
I'm so excited.
In Arkansas for 2023. So before we sign off tonight, is there anything else, any advice, any saying, any word, anything you want to say to the people?
I'm just so happy for anyone who watched or tuned in, and I would just say 2023 could be everyone's Jordan year. So just show up and do your best, and just know like this is the year for you to be your whole self, be aggressive, like, and don't apologize. Don't apologize for anything. I am cocky and kind at the same time, and I hope everyone else can be that. So that's it.
Boom. Hey, you know what? That's a word right there, all in itself. So Ishea and I will be heading to the Bahamas on Thursday. We have some huge things that are going on in the Bahamas that you guys will be able to see and follow us while we're there. We will definitely be streaming live from the Bahamas and coming back with more footage for you guys. And then hopefully we'll have a chance to kind of digress and give you guys some information about the trip once we come back. Yes. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on tonight, Ishea, and I look forward to seeing you. I will see you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Awesome. Have a good night. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I'm sorry that you have to look at me pink and frozen, but you know what I look like, and you can hear my voice. We had a lot of people that tuned in this evening. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, we will be back in 2 more weeks, and we will be back with LaQuanda Thompson. She is a real estate agent here in the state of Arkansas that transitioned from traditional real estate to Roush Coleman, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how that went. So, Ishea, thank you.
Thank you.
Have an amazing night, and I will see you in the Bahamas.
See you in the Bahamas. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you.